Hello, my name's Mark. Welcome back for another video. In this video we're going to be remaking these decorative bargeboards. I'll bring the camera in closer so you can see what we're going to do, what I'm going to do. You're just going to watch, hopefully. Okay, so this is the bargeboards I'm going to be remaking. So you've got like a curved line that goes through there, and you've got four, I'll spin the camera around so you can see, 4 holes down there. If I flick one over, you can just see just how rotten they are. And they're quite difficult to get down without actually snapping off. It's probably more the paint holding them together. So I'll get all sorted out in here, so we're ready to go, and then show you what the sort of plan of attack is. Okay, so you've got like these, whatever shape these funny triangle things are. And then it curves, and then you get, spin the camera a bit, you get like half a triangle, whatever that is, shape there. And then if you go further down, we've got another one of those full triangle things, a bit falling off the end, but there was another little triangle. So I've got a bit of ply up here, or ply. So if I make a template for one of those triangles, and then I can just mark the end of that one on there and one curve, then I can cut one of those and use the same template to cut half of one of the other, to cut one of the small triangles, half of one of the small triangles, and I still have the curve again. That sort of makes sense to me, but I don't know if I've explained it right. But I'll make the template and take it from there. It should be easier to sort of show you when I've made it. So what I'm going to do is, there's one of those triangles, I think it's on the other bargeboard, which is actually not bad. So I'm going to use the flush trim cutter on it, cut it out with that. Maybe might need a little bit of tidying up at the end, and I can get the curve then as well. Once I've got that, then it should be relatively straightforward to transfer it onto the new timber. So I made up the ply template. I just used, there was one of those sort of triangle, whatever shape holes those things are, wasn't that bad, so I used that to create that one. Found the best curve and used that. I just used the template cutter in the router, but I've tried it on all the others, and the curve doesn't seem perfect all the way down the line. So I don't know how they did it originally, but probably not with a router at the age of it. But anyway, so that one, so that lines up with that hole there. That's the half hole. So then if I flick that over in a minute, I can then, so fold it over, then I can then do the other hole at the other end, the full triangle and the half triangle. I'll mark it out in a minute and show you what I mean. So it should then give me access to everything. Took a bit of a while to make the template, but it should make the actual making of it accurate and quick, hopefully. I've drawn that on there using the template, and then just because I didn't really trust myself, I've put the old one back on top and it's right. So allow well you can see the lines on the camera. So I'll cut out the sort of the bulk of it with a jigsaw. So I've got the rough shape, and then the ply template can go on top, and then I can flush trim it off. Then I've left a bit, put plenty at each end to sort out at the ends when I actually get to site. Because the end part on the far end had a fancy shape on it, but it'd fallen off, so I have to try and look at the one on the front, so I'm going to copy that. But so I'll get all this cut out and then come back film some more. Okay, so I've just like cut the rough shape with the jigsaw, so I can now clamp my template on and tidy it all up. Just cut it like a few mil, well, 5 mil off the line, because jigsaws don't really cut very square. So postman's just delivered this. I thought I'd get one of those new up down guided router bits, but the size of it, it's a bit of a beast. I wasn't really expecting anything quite that big. I thought it'd be about a quarter that size really. So we buy things on the internet, we don't really read it properly in it, but I'll give it a try anyway. But the biggest problem is going to be going in these. when it goes out into these cutouts, it's hardly going to fit in there. So I'm going to have to do that with the little one, but I don't know. Bit of a thing that's spinning around, but I'll should be right on the curves anyway. I'll give it a try. I'm still alive, hasn't come flying across the room at me or anything. I'll come back and let you know what happens. Doesn't half work a treat. It's almost left like a bit of a prepared finish there. It's almost like when you'd almost paint that. It's a bit of a beast though, but it's not going to take long because it's taken out in one pass. Quite impressed with that. So I've done the first one. That up-down cutter thing, a great big thing, works an absolute treat. It just goes along that bottom edge like it's not even there. Useless in those little triangle things. It would only go in the sort of in the middle, but I had to use a little cutter in there, but that's sort of worked alright. It's got up to the 45 bevel and all that, but I'll put the other one on top, mark the other one up so I've got a pair. Then I can do all the bevels and stuff all in one go then. Got it all cut now, but that up-down cutter thing really makes a mess. Amount of shavings is just everywhere, but it has got it done. Just got to put there's like a 45 chamfer that goes on all of these. I'll run that round in the router now, see what that looks like, and then it sort of extends like a little 45 channel along the end, just sort of fades out. So I'll have to do that by hand. I'll put the 45 on, show you that, and then try and figure out how I do these little bits. So I've got the bevel on here obviously was easy because that was just like a 45 on the router, but then this bevel then, if you can see, it runs up here and just disappears. So I did the first one just with a sharp chisel, and then took ages. So then sort of worked out if you use the multi-tool, a bit unconventional this, but the multi-tool you could just cut out the worst, like the guts of it, and then just clean that with a chisel. So that's what I did. Just cut that bulk of that triangle out and then just cleaned up. It seemed to work reasonably well. So the next bit I've got to do is this bit, which it's like a sort of a top moulding, but on the original one, I don't know, you can see it's two pieces. It's like, so you got that bit with that sort of concave, or whatever they call it, on the bottom, and then just planted the piece on the top. But the water always gets in between those two, and that's why it's rotted out, as you can see down the back there. So I've got some 3x2. So the plan is to cut that piece out, so make it out of one piece. Obviously I can't really feed it through the table saw because I haven't got room, I didn't get it on the table saw. So I'll move all this out of the way. Some of that can go outside now, and I think I can set the tractor up to cut that section out. I'll show in a minute what I mean. Shut up rambling. Okay, so I cut down with the track saw. It's a bit of a pain because I haven't got a track long enough, so I have to do half it and slide it, but that's what we can do. So I'm now going to cut in from this side. So if I set the depth right, I should be able to remove it cleanly. As long as the saw drops into that slot there, I shouldn't get any marks, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. So I've got 4 lengths of this 3x2, so I'll stack all 4 up on its edge. Should be enough room to rest the track on there without it tipping. So it hasn't worked too bad, so cut that out with the track saw. Got the dab with the router, so it's pretty much recreated that, except that was 2 pieces. Managed to do that in 1 piece, which hopefully the water shouldn't get into and separate. Really dusty in there now. Everything's coated in dust, including me. Just go a bit of a clear up. Give us all a sort of sand down, knot it, prime it, ready for tomorrow. So there it is, all finished. The weather's been a bit of a nightmare, so I haven't really had a chance to film too much. Well, as for the install, because
It's just been fighting with the weather really. It's turned out okay, I think. I can't really get far enough back to see it, so I go and film it from the ground. It just looks like a distance, but it's come up okay, I think. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, usual place, please subscribe. Thank you.